Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute. The last video I did was our senior bike ride. We finished that up a few weeks ago. And today I kind of wanted to talk about, obviously, what the description is, life after a car accident. So let's begin.
Look into my eyes and show me your adventures I haven't seen. Taking all the life, it hits the spot. Walking on fantasy. So take me, baby, take me to a state of mind that's made of, baby, that's made.
Hi guys, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and please don't forget to subscribe. Today's video is only talking about my car accident, so it's a little bit of a story time telling. So first off, I had my accident June 3rd around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. I'm not too sure about the time. I don't remember the actual accident itself, so I can't really go into details with you about that actual accident, but I can tell you what happened before and what life is like after. So on the 3rd, I went to the VA. I had to pick up some medication and I was on my way home. And normally I do plan my routes that I take because I do suffer from PTSD and a little bit of anxiety. And so driving already is something that causes a little bit of my anxiety. So I do plan ahead on all the trips that I take if I'm in my vehicle. But this particular day, I went to the VA, took my normal route. However, on my way back, I did have to make a stop because I had to get something for my daughter. So I ended up taking the interstate, the freeway. And I think that's kind of where the story kind of begins because it was a route that I normally don't take. I was driving, it was raining that day. It did seize up raining on my way home. So the ground was wet, but it was not raining. There was not that much traffic. I can say, if I can remember correctly, there was not that much traffic on the road. However, the exit I was coming upon did have a line for the exit because there is construction kind of going on in that area for the airport. So the traffic was kind of backed up and there was a vehicle that was traveling at very excessive speeds. And I do remember this particularly because I remember when I seen the exit and I seen all the lanes and I know how kind of people drive in that area. I decided to get myself all the way over to the far left side or the passing lanes, the very last lane, to avoid traffic coming in and out of that particular exit. So I do remember merging over to the far left lanes. And as I was doing so, I can also remember seeing a vehicle going at high speed levels. And I don't think they realized that the traffic up front was actually stopped. And I remember them slamming on their brakes and spinning out of control. And the next thing I remember is seeing the vehicle literally facing me now in my lane. And I had nothing I tried to stop, and that's how the accident happened. Now, the actual accident itself, I don't remember any of that. I don't remember how I hit. I don't remember anything after that. I've only was able to get what witnesses have told me of what they seen of the accident, because there was a few witnesses that were there that actually seen the accident happen. So I have only what their words were. So from witnesses standpoint, I hit head on with this truck in my SUV, and I have a mini SUV, or had a mini SUV, and I hit head on, and I guess another vehicle at the same time also hit this vehicle. Did not hit mine, but also hit the other vehicle. Now, when I look at pictures of this accident, I realized, or I seen how my vehicle was almost, I want to say about 500 feet away from the actual or initial accident. When I hit, it hit with such force that it caused my vehicle to spin literally out of control. And because I am 5'1", I'm sure I did not have any more control of the steering wheel. Again, I don't remember. I was spinning out of control, and from a witness standpoint, they said I kept bouncing off of the guardrail, and this guardrail protects other vehicles from crossing into the other oncoming traffic or the other side of the freeway. And I literally took the whole guardrail down as I went for about 500 feet. So my vehicle was literally stranded in grass, kind of off on its own. Now, the one thing I do remember is I remember a guy coming and trying to get me out of the vehicle because my car was smoking. It wasn't on fire. It was actually, I believe it was the airbags that caused the smoke in my car. So he had to pry my car door open to get me out, and had lots of trouble getting me out of my seatbelt. But I was able to stand and walk, I believe, 10 feet, into his vehicle, where he kept me because it was hot outside. It was still wet outside, and he put me in AC until paramedics and the police showed up. I don't know how long it took for the police to show up, but I do believe they showed up fairly quickly because the police station was actually the next exit away. So I believe they showed up really quick. Like I said, I don't remember. It's little bits and pieces here and there, so I don't know what is true, what is not true. So I don't want to give you guys any misinformation about my accident. So once the firemen came, I do remember them placing me in a neck brace and told me I was not allowed to move until a stretcher came. And so I followed directions. I don't remember calling my husband, which apparently I did call my husband because my husband did show up at the accident. I don't recall seeing him. I don't recall actually talking to him. And from my husband's point of view, he said I didn't even recognize him. So those are very, very scary things. And it was very scary, the fact that I don't even remember calling my husband, because the last time I seen my phone was in my purse when I was in the accident. So I was nowhere near my phone. My phone was actually in the purse, and the force of the vehicle, the force of the hit was so hard that my phone actually came out of my purse, because my purse was unzipped. It was open, but it was so hard that my phone actually flew underneath the passenger side and up into the dashboard. And so the guy who did come and get me, I asked him to grab me my, I believe I told him to grab me my phone. I needed to call my husband. So he actually found my phone there and found my purse there. Again, these are all witnesses' accounts. I don't remember this. So I was taken to the emergency room that day, and because of COVID and everything going on, I was literally by myself. My husband was unable to come into the emergency with me, and I was placed in a room by myself, and it was the most scariest thing I have ever had to experience, because I had no one to really be there to advocate for me of my pain, and I was left alone in the hospital room for hours at a time in extreme pain. And only every now and again was somebody coming in. Either it was because I was getting an x-ray done, a CAT scan done, or MRI, and every now and again the doctor would show up or the nurse would come up. The only level of pain medication they actually gave me was Tylenol. Now imagine being in a serious car accident, and I will show you guys pictures of my accident, but just imagine being in a serious car accident and the best that a hospital can give you is just regular Tylenol, over-the-counter Tylenol. You know that's not going to cut it. I was in severe pain. My face hurt, my chest hurt, my shoulders hurt, my neck hurt, my abdomen hurt, my back hurt, and so did my legs. And I did receive a little bit of bruising. After that was all said and done, the x-rays and everything came back. They told me there was really nothing wrong. They told me I had a little whiplash and bruising, and that just take some Tylenol and I should be okay. Just give it about a week. So I listened because they're experts, and I thought they knew, or they've known about car accidents, and they probably seen a lot worse. So I was trusting them with my care and in my health that this was the best thing for me. So I left the hospital, And I went home and I was in extreme pain and the Tylenol wasn't cutting it for me. And I cried and cried and cried. That Thursday, I was in so much pain that I kept telling my husband, I remember just telling my husband, look, there's something else wrong. I can't move. I can't do this. And granted, the healthcare professionals did tell me I was going to be extremely, extremely sore, that was expected. But the magnitude of my headache and the magnitude of the pressure I felt behind my back was so scary. It went beyond just pain itself. It went into a full-blown panic because I never felt this kind of pain before, and I never felt the agonizing as if I was going to die. So that following Friday, when I told my husband I just could not take it no more, I need a second opinion, I went ahead and called my doctor, who is actually at the VA. She went ahead and told me, you know what, go straight to the ER. So that's exactly what I did. I went straight to the VA urgent care or emergency room, and they ran their own tests. This time around, the doctor told me, look, you received a head injury, whiplash, and they said that it's going to take a very long time to heal. But while I was there, instead of just giving me Tylenol, they gave me some really, really good pain medication and let me sit there and rest to get my body to loosen up, because I was so tense. My muscles were so tight that it was causing just more pain. They ended up being able to give me some medicine to kind of relax me a little bit, but also ease that pain I was having. They literally eased that pain. So I thank them so much. But they also sent me home with medication and better medication to kind of manage my pain so I can, be able to recover a little bit faster if I'm not in pain. So fast forward a couple days later, and then I started receiving phone calls from the other insurance company wanting to know information about me, and they couldn't find their client. And it just became all this overwhelming situation that I just really could not handle, especially because I was in so much pain. So I went ahead and ended up having to get a lawyer. And I got a lawyer only so I was able to heal and be able to get back to my normal self and not having to deal with the signing of things and having to explain my side of the story, or having to collect all this documentation that I should not have to do because it was not my fault. So that's why I ended up having to get a lawyer, and the case is still pending. So that's all I'm going to say about that. So what is life like now after my car accident? So I'm going to kind of tell you kind of what I'm dealing with right now. So I am dealing with now a new trauma. So I already have other trauma that I dealt with while I was in the military. So those traumas are still there. And somebody with PTSD, it's kind of hard to kind of remove themselves from such trauma, and then you adding all this other additional trauma on there, it becomes a lot. So now I have this other trauma, and right now I am now terrified of driving. Will I always be terrified of driving? I don't think so. I think I will overcome that fear. I think it's kind of like practice makes perfect. Because I do now have to drive myself to my physical therapy or my chiropractor appointments. And luckily for me, it's actually only about like 2 blocks away. I could actually walk if I want to, but it's so scalding hot outside and I'm in so much pain that walking is probably just not in the question. So I'd rather drive that 3 minutes, taking the back roads to just get to my therapy and make my appointments on time. So yeah, I get anxiety. I have to wake up extra early to work out and to sort out my anxiety that I have before I will be able to get into my husband's vehicle, which I am driving until I can get a new vehicle. So it's a process. It's a long dealing process. So I have to take my time because I know I'm going to wake up with anxiety. So the first thing I do is take medication. And when I take medication, I try to then meditate, and hopefully that will ease my brain and my thoughts. So when I do get on the road or in my vehicle, I can do it safely. Does it work sometimes? sometimes. There's days that I panic the whole way there until I actually am there, and then my anxiety kind of fades away. And then it's almost like a repeat because I'm there for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then I leave, and I gotta then redo that process over again to get home. So there's the first trauma related issue I'm having now with my car accident. The second one is my motorcycle in the back. I'm unable to ride my motorcycle at the moment. They are saying anywhere from 8 weeks at first to now I'm looking about 4 weeks, and that's give or take if I can get my headaches under control. So Pegasus has been sitting there, and she will be sitting there for quite some time. The only thing I can do is turn her on and start her engine and listen to her purr, and that's all I can do. And it's really sucks. And it's really actually depressing, which goes back to my trauma, because I'm now depressed because I can't ride. I see my husband able to ride every day to work. He gets, he's invited to go to bike rides, and I'm invited to, don't get me wrong, I'm invited to. The only problem is I can't be on my bike. So seeing other bikers riding just really, it strings at my heart, and it hurts, I almost a little bit of that jealousy and envy I get, but also anger. I get this real strong anger, and I get mad because it was like something that was taken away from me, such a passion that I had that I was kind of just taken away from me. And one instant, one mistake caused me to not be able to get on my bike. And it's unfortunate, and it was an accident, and I get that it was an accident, but it still comes down to actions and choices that we make in all of our lives. And it could have been me that caused the accident, and I would have felt completely horrible because those are the actions I took or the choices I took. Besides all that, the pain that I have, or the pain that I had from the time of my accident until what I have now. So my pain that I had with my accident, I kind of explained: my head, my neck, my jaw, my chest, my stomach, and my back and my legs were the main areas of pain. I honestly could not eat for 5, maybe 6 days, maybe even longer. I was not able to eat. If I were to eat anything, and this is including drinking, if I were to drink something, it literally got stuck right here in my chest, and it would not move. And the only thing I was able to do from there is just throw it back up. And I know that sounds disgusting, but I had to remove that feeling in my stomach, or that food that was just stuck, that was not going down. So I ended up having to constantly bring it back up. So that then again, obviously that causes more pain if you're already having chest pain and stomach aches, and then now you have this feeling of something stuck in your throat, and you got to now forcefully bring it back up. That also starts to hurt, your neck, your shoulders, your chest, your stomach. It rears on your body. And then if you're not getting that nutrients in your body, you're not going to heal the way you're supposed to. So I started off doing like applesauce, pudding, some broth, and some water, and that I kind of repeated that for a couple of days. And even that, just swallowing pills every day, I could feel it just getting stuck, and I was constantly drinking, and it just would stay there. And sometimes I would have to throw that up because it just would not go down. But over time that healed. I'm sure it was my diaphragm was swollen or bruised from my seatbelt, but over time, like I said, it healed, and now I'm able to eat. I don't eat as much, only for the simple fact is, one, I've been trying to lose weight prior to this accident, but number two, because of this accident, my acid reflux kind of reared its ugly head once again. So I'm getting a lot of acid reflux from after the accident. So I minimize the stuff I eat, or what I don't eat as much, and that's kind of helped out a little bit. But also it has caused pain as well, whether it's from my stomach ache, my back, or my head. I don't know why. I can't explain why. It does. I feel like if I eat something, I already know I'm about to get a headache. I don't know why. So that leads to my headaches. So my headaches are really, really bad. I've never suffered from migraines before. And granted, look, I can never say I've never had a headache, because I think everybody's experienced a headache at least one point in their life. But these headaches are different. These are not your typical, I'm stressed, I have a headache, or I did this, I have a headache. This is full-blown pain, and I'm going to kind of describe the pain to you of what I feel. So it initiates in the base of my head right here, where I guess my skull and my spine connect, and it travels mainly on my right side, and it goes up and it stops about right here. And then I feel the pain right behind my right eye. Now the pain right behind my right eye is like a throbbing feeling, like it's a constant throb, almost kind of like if you ever see a strobe light and you see that strobe light constantly flickering. It's kind of like that, but it's just a pressure, and that's what I feel constantly. On top of that, I feel a burning sensation, so it literally feels like my head is on fire, like a million of fire ants jumped upon my head and started attacking. That's what it feels like. So it hurts. So because I get this type of pain, it then shoots to my jawline, or right here in my jaw, where it just irritates my jaw. One reason why, another reason why it's hard to eat, because it's a constant pain. So me chewing, even talking, causes this pain in my jaw, pain in my head, and then it shoots down, and now I get pain in my neck. Then obviously when all that pain starts to constantly happen, I tense up, and I tense my shoulder muscles, my neck muscles, then my back muscles. And I already have back issues, and now I have even more back pain because of my accident. So it's a lot of pain I am dealing with, and I'm constantly on medication, and I'm constantly sleeping. And today, this is why I'm doing my video, is because today I felt good enough to be able to be, one, in front of light, because I need natural light so I can make this video, but two, I needed almost kind of time, because I did not want to get on this video and be in so much excruciating pain, and then trying to describe my accident and all that. So yeah, that was a pain. So how am I getting my life back together? First of all, I am meeting all of my appointments. I am going to every single chiropractor appointment, and I am going to tell you, it hurt. My very first day, it hurt. My second day, it hurt. My third day, it hurt. Not until the following week is when I started realizing I wasn't having that much pain anymore, especially in my back. Although I was having pain, back pain, it wasn't as severe as when I first started the chiropractor. And so they put a heating pad on, and they do a TENS unit on me, and then they do a quick little massage, and then the doctor kind of cracks my neck a little bit, cracks my back a little bit. And literally afterwards, and at first I was scared and in pain, but now I feel a lot better when I leave out the doctor's office, that if I were to have to go get something for myself, I'm able to do that without that much pain. Now, granted, that doesn't last all day. It might last a good hour to 2 hours. And then after those 2 hours or so pass from me seeing the chiropractor, that pain comes right back, and it kind of creeps back in. And so the rest of my day, it's kind of like I'm back going in a declining motion. And I'm hoping that's going to change. And I'm hoping the more I go and the more I kind of do my own little stretches and my own meditation, that I will be able to get back to my daily routine. Also, just like I'm also doing therapy. I believe mental therapy is really needed, and I needed it for a very long time, and I have been going to therapy for a very long time with my my anxiety and depression due to my PTSD. So I've seen a therapist for a long time, and when I had this accident, it just so happened I A few weeks prior to that, I already finished up one of my sessions with one therapist, and I was kind of in a waiting period for my next session to start with a new therapist. And it just so happened that the VA kind of knew that I was in a car accident, so they kind of expedited that therapy. So literally, I started chiropractor and I started therapy within a few days of my car accident to really kind of make sure I was going to be 100% okay. I don't know what the future is going to hold for me. I do know one thing. I will get back on my bike. And I will probably have fear of riding my bike, and I'll probably have fear riding my vehicle. But at the end of the day, I want to get back to myself. And even if that means I have to have that little bit of fear to do so. And hopefully therapy will constantly remind me that it's just a fear, that it's okay to have fears as long as those fears don't stop you from what you wanting to do. But that's it. I am going to show you a few pictures kind of the accident, kind of show you a little bit of my bruising. I didn't have a lot of bruising. I don't bruise often. I think the only place I bruise the most is in my legs or on my arms, but body-wise, I just don't bruise. Just my arms and my legs are the ones that kind of take that beating and take that bruising a little bit. So I'm going to show you a few pictures of my accident. Again, I am thankful to be alive. I'm thankful I'm able to walk. I can't imagine if it went worse, or it was worse than it really was, or I could have been dead. I could have been paralyzed. And there's people all around the world that exactly what happens to them. They become paralyzed. They really get really bad injuries where their motor skills or their just speaking becomes an issue. And I'm fortunate enough that none of that happened. Like I said, I do have headaches. I am experiencing a little bit of memory loss, some concentration, but all in all, I'm still me. So, and I appreciate that, and I'm thankful for that. So enough of me blabbing. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please like this video, comment. Have you guys ever been in a car accident? What was your guys' experiences like? I mean, it's scary. Yeah, just, I would like to hear from you guys. So until next time, bye.